much like I think many of the teams in this moment in time, there's a real sense of urgency and excitement about the last few games. 10 teams across the league in the same boat we are. And everybody wants to get above that line when all is said and done. And it's nice to be in the conversation. And proud of the guys that have put themselves in this spot. So now it comes down to these matches. It starts with Nashville, a very good team, a very good coach. I love what he's done there. And from what I hear, a great atmosphere. We haven't been there, but I hear it's a great place to play. And I trust that will fuel us. And again, we understand the challenge ahead of us. And again, the preparation, just a lot of excitement, giving them some ideas, but not reinventing the wheel. And we're going to go compete.
Next up, so with Danny.
Yes, Artur Zubak, Eric Jasmakis is good for the comfort in the team.
Yeah. Look, we've talked at length about Eric and the center back rotation situation that has been this year. And within that, not only Eric is a experienced defender in what he does and how he goes about the business tactically and physically and all that, he's also a guy with personality and leadership. And that's been something we've chased all year as well, as we've had some youth and interchanging of people at certain spots. So it's nice to have him back in there, for sure.
Good, Danny?
Yeah, that's it.
Georgie, go ahead.
Coach, how was it for you and the guys to finally be able to get an important win at home, something that was sort of difficult for you guys in the season?
Yeah, it was great. And I think Portland, I thought we followed the game plan very well, and in the end, produced quite a few really good moments to put that game to bed. And we didn't, and they hit 3 posts down the stretch there, and it looked a little bit like the last 2 games. So certainly how we finish games has to get better. But we got to get out of that situation where teams score 1 goal and it's a tie, and we have to put the second and third in to give ourselves a little cushion, because it's hard. Teams throw a lot at you. So, but we skirted that one. But again, I think we deserve the win. But that seems like a very long time ago, frankly. And it was because of the urgency of this next game and the last 3 games. It's a quick one to turn over and grab the points and say, let's go. We got a lot of work to do.
Good. All right, we'll go to Rudy. Go ahead, Rudy.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing all right. Road results for you guys have been pretty positive. What's been the key in, carrying that into tough environments like you say, Nashville?
I think we've been collective, and for the most part, I think we've given, a pretty clear game plan and what the team's going to look like and how to go about it. But again, a lot of times away, you're going to suffer. You're going to face some tough moments, and so that resiliency on the road is important, and that everybody shows up. And you very rarely win away by playing poorly. And having, a moment or two. It's got to be, a lot of 7, 8s across the board, and, a real collective game plan to try to get something on the road in the MLS.
Ezequiel Ponce, he's been in a strong scoring form for you guys as of late. How do you ensure, he continues to get service, and I guess isn't isolated against Nashville's back line?
Well, we're designing it to get him looks, and I think he's gotten enough looks throughout the year. Ezekiel's a guy that puts a big shift defensively, so at times that may hurt him on the offensive end, but he's getting his looks, and that's all. Strikers just need to get hot, and he's in good form. I think the goal is very big for him right now, so it's important for us to just make sure he continues to get these types of looks.
You talked a little bit about that center back shuffle and carousel. Pablo Ortiz suspended for this match. How are you approaching that pairing this weekend, and maybe what qualities are important against a physical striker like Sam Surridge?
Well, I'm not going to get into the profile of the player, but certainly Surridge and Mukhtar, majority of their points, Surridge is just really his ability to maneuver in and around the box. Their ability as a team to have him, you talk about Ponce and getting looks, they really understand where he's going to be in the box, and then the quality of service is real from a Nashville standpoint. So it's twofold. Obviously, you have to deal with him in the box and understand his tendencies as best you can. And then it's, how can we limit service, and how can we limit these moments where he gets good looks at the goal? And certainly in the air, these moments seem to be, his best attributes. He's a big boy. He can jump. His timing's very good. And he's also fairly good with his head on knockdowns too. So it comes to him, and he either does it, or we have to do a good job of coming with the cross and making sure we have the numbers for knockdowns and second phase action. So it's tough. Forwards know what they're doing. Take that away, they know how to go there. So it's limit him as much as possible, time and space in the box, and try to shut down some of their patterns to get to him.
Last one for me, Coach. On the road, hostile environment, as you mentioned, how important is leadership and communication within the team to keep composure and execute the game plan for you guys?
In hostile environments, I think communication is overrated. Sometimes you can't even hear each other, right? So if you're relying on that on game day, I think you're in trouble. So the other one is experience and resiliency and doing the work beforehand and making sure we understand over the last 10 moments, this is what we do in these moments, and sticking with those kind of principles and going, relying on that so much as just, fully adapting. But you're still going to have to pull out some plays. You're going to have to block some shots. You're going to have to be efficient on the offensive end. You don't get maybe as many looks on the road as you do at home. We had 25 shots last game. I don't see us getting 25 shots in Nashville. It'd be great if we did, but so you got to make sure this time of year that they count. You're not going to get as many good looks. Teams are really well versed in who they are, and frankly who their opponent is. There's enough footage out there. So, but we're excited. There's a good vibe in the group. I think there's a little bit of an underdog right now. Not a lot of people think we're going to be in the postseason. We're on the outside looking in. And that's just fine with us.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
All right, Federico, go ahead.
Coach Federico Michelis here. I wanted to ask you, the team looked more vertical last match against Portland. I think one of the reasons seemed to be that Urso played more as an offensive midfielder than the two holding that we usually see with Artur and Renz. Do you think that had to do with the way that the team attacked, and also, of course, having Nali getting used to him in the attack and finding those longer passes instead of maybe focusing more on the possession of the ball?
Well, I think we had 65% of the ball, ish.
Yeah.
I think it was one of our better possession games of the year. Now, you can have possession and be vertical at the same time, and I think that's probably what you're referring to. I thought the build itself was very good, and I thought, you're right in to identify some of the profiles. There was no Artie there, right? And so now you have kind of 2-8s, guys that can get forward in the midfield. You still have Linger, who's more of a vertical player. Nali's vertical, as opposed to sometimes when we have Amin and Kowalczyk. They're less vertical. They're more soccer and supportive players. So, you're seeing some of that, but again, I thought we had a good balance against Portland. I don't know if it was any different than, some of the other games. I think Portland sat a little bit and they were loose. and allowed us to drive the game. Really, where they hurt you is in transition, and they had a few moments there in the first half that we got exposed. But overall, it was a good performance. But I think Nashville will be a different animal. I think this is a trickier opponent away and pose a few more problems than Portland did.
Yep. All right, Jack. The team earned 3 massive points this past weekend. 1-0 shutout victory over Portland. How much momentum does this give the team going into training this week, as well as how did it reflect in today's session?
Yeah, it's huge. I think we've been wanting to win, especially at home, for a while now, and to get it and to have a good performance like that's huge. I think training today was great. We were very competitive, kind of a good vibe, and I think we need that going into these last 3 games.
Yeah, and the Dynamo are back on the road this weekend for a cross-conference matchup against Nashville. What kind of match are you expecting against them?
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, we know they're a really good team. They're in the Open Cup final, so we know the quality they have, and it's going to be tough. But I think on the road, we've had a good mentality, and that's what it's got to start with.
Yeah, and you were named to the team of the match today, for your performance against Portland, for the assist with Olsen. How does these performances, as well as these link-ups, energize the team to keep pushing, keep going forward for playoffs?
Yeah, no, I just try to do everything I can to help, whether it's goals, assists, or just working hard out there. I think, I have a really good connection with Zeke up top, just kind of working off each other. It's been good this year, and just trying to help the team as best I can because I know my role and I have to create for us.